Hello and welcome back to Factorio. We are in exotic industries and the next thing I would like to do is make a nano emitter. I've done a little bit of tidy up between episodes, but not very much. And as well as the nano emitter itself, I'm going to make some of these nanobot construction bots. Now they look slightly expensive to me, but fingers crossed we'll be able to live with that. Do we have plenty of belt? I'm going to grab more belt. That's a sufficient amount of belt. This episode is going to be a bit of chop and change. So you could see during last time, and also I noticed in between, I just couldn't keep up with the hand feeding of coal. So what we're going to try and do today is automate what we're doing with what we're doing by moving things around by hand and replace it with doing things using belts. So let's see how well that goes. The first thing I would like to do is automate coal mining onto a belt. We're going to have to come up with some way of doing this which will work with burner miners. So this is as far down as I can go, isn't it? I think there is some arrangement like this where you get the burner miners to feed themselves. And of course I've set off lots of crafting to happen in the background, so we will start setting this out by hand. There we go. Oh, research finished. I did a couple of dead-end researches off stream. The next research which actually gates our progress is basic oil processing. I like the idea of engines. I'm not quite sure what these are, but we'll take them anyway. Okay, and here we are. So this is going to be our new coal mining setup. And the idea is, rather than having the coal running in a loop, each miner has a chance to pick up a piece of coal off the belt. So here, piece of coal got made. It's currently fueling up the arms, and then that one went back into the boiler, into the burner miner. So I think this arrangement here we can use to set up mining on the coal, which should continue to work without me needing to run around dumping lots of coal into mining drills. Okay. So, ooh, nanobots. That is pretty cool. Okay. So I can now start doing things with blueprints, which is great. I'm going to put a second nano emitter in. This one is going to have the explosive termite things. This is slightly dangerous because, as you probably know, I have a dangerous trees mod installed. So, yeah, it's possible that this will go very horribly wrong and start blowing me up. But anyway, it's all good, clean fun, isn't it? Let's get a bit more of this covered. And I'm not sure if I'll need to remove our crash. I don't think we have room for another... No, we don't have room for another row of miners. Okay, there are researches which will increase the range at which we can put down... which will increase the range at which our nanobots work. Okay, so I'm hoping that is... actually, let's put that there. That's it. I'm hoping that's a good amount of coal for now. So I need to bring the coal towards where our mining is happening, which is over this way. I probably also need some coal on the bus. So let's see, do we have a... Ooh, they repair things. Okay. So what we could do is bring the green circuit line up, bring this down. This can be a coal line in case I need coal on the bus. We will have to do something a little bit funky here. think if I move that back one, I'm trying to really minimize the amount of belt that I use. Okay. So that is coal on the bus. And then this coal I want to take over to where the smelting is happening. I've got a feeling that our labs are going to continue to grow. So let's just snake this through here. Not enough underground belts. Do I have the materials to craft some more? I do. Okay. Buses are really expensive for belt, basically. Right, let's pull all this. Good, and then we can dump these in here and get everything going again. This is what I want to avoid, though. Okay, so that's got the coal through to where an ore patch is. And I'm going to start pulling all this up. Because again, we're going to come up with some mechanic for running this where I don't need to personally refuel. Okay, we've got a lot of coal. We'll figure that out in a minute. So let's try and do this in a more organized way. All right. So imagine these were just outputting onto a belt. And then imagine we had... In fact, do I want this to be doing the smelting? No, because I can't get fuel into the smelters, which defeats the whole purpose of this. I'd like to be really consistent about where I put these things so it's easy to copy paste. Okay, there we go. So these should now produce ore. And it, just for the sake of keeping things going, I'm going to dump some of this coal into these machines, which are the last things which require coal, other than our coal power station. All right. Good. Then I think that I can put in a splitter here. Like that. And now I've got a split line of ore and coal. Okay. And then we can start doing some actual smelting. And I don't know what the ratios are on this mod pack. So let's take one furnace and one mining drill. So this mines 15. This has no recipe at the moment. There we go. And this can process 18. Okay, so these process the ore faster than we can mine it. But that's not going to be a problem, because we're going to do more than one row of mining. Now, I haven't really thought about how I'm going to get the ingots back out down here. I probably should have built it all down here. But we have nanobots, so we can make this happen. Okay, let's make it happen. I'm just going to pick this all up by hand so the nanobots don't have to. And then... and move this out of the way. Okay. More coal dumping. I'm just going to put some in a box. There we go. Okay, so I reckon I can Control-C that. And can I flip? Okay, so we'll have to figure out something. How does... that work? I think that does, except I don't want these here. I'm going to move those. And we'll inject the coal in a different way. Okay, take all that away. There. Oh, I'm out of nanobots already. Okay, so we're going to run into issues with the nanobots just not really keeping up with my use of them, which perhaps is telling us that this is not a wise use of resources. But to be honest, I just can't be bothered with all the manual placement of stuff. So we're gonna run with it anyway. Okay, there's some of that. To make these, I don't have enough mechanical parts. Oh, that's steam engines. So I don't know why I picked up steam engines. I need mechanical parts, which are made over here, this box. Okay, so I think I need to increase the size of this buffer. Good. And we'll make some more nanobots. So this is going to come down. We're going to increase this pattern until we run out. Good. Good, that's all working, isn't it? And then I'm just thinking about how to repeat the pattern. So if I had this and I put it that way, does that work? Yeah, I think it does. It's not very space efficient, but it's not awful, is it? So we've already got 16 miners there, which I think is more than I used to have. Okay. And then we're going to make a smelting line. And so for that, we're going to need some coal onto the other side of the belt, which we're going to steal off here with a splitter, like that. Then let's start off with 12 of these. Then we will come back in the opposite direction. Oh look, it magically fits onto the line. However, it is on the wrong side of the belt, so we will fix that. Brilliant. And now I'm going to need a ton more inserters. And even more than that. I don't particularly worry about overcrafting them because we can always words are tricky. We can always recycle the burner inserters into steam inserters, so it's not the end of the world. Okay, so then let's start picking all this up. I've got some poor copper chunks that we can dump in here. I'm going to put the coal in as well. I've got a lot of slag which is going to need to be dealt with. Ooh, that was nearly a boo-boo. Okay. Okay, let's pick all this up before we end up with a slag apocalypse. All right, so if I put a splitter here, I can filter slag to the right, like that. Put that back. Okay, so this is then our slag. And we can then use some steam assemblers to turn the slag into stone. How many steam assemblers do you think we're going to need for this? Quite a few. Let's do that for now. All right. We're out of pipe. Let's grab that. That's good. It's nice to have something a bit like a mal. Time to move these guns out of the way. Good. Then we can put these here. That should be all sorted now. We are going to then... Oh, hang on. Can we make... No, I need steel to make these containers. Okay. So, for now, we are just going to box the stone. So, let's set this to stone. There we go. Okay, that's slag dealt with. Pretty sweet. We have automated the copper ingots. So now we need to do something very similar for the iron. I can probably dump some stacks of slag straight into these machines, which will speed things up. Okay, let's craft some things, because nothing helps clear the inventory quite as quickly as crafting. Okay. Let's dump some more coal into the boilers. We are going to fire the boilers up from the coal belt later, but right now let's just deal with it this way. There we go. And then I have a lot of iron chunks in my inventory, so I think dumping them into smelters would be a start, wouldn't it? Okay, so we can probably do some iron smelting above, because it comes down here. So let's try that. So let's do 12 as well. We can always grow this. Good, that's given us a bit more space. Good, and I can fill these with coal to get rid of that. I can fill them with iron chunks to get rid of that. Wonderful. Okay, then we're going to take basically this arrangement. I'm going to grab this part of the blueprint, and we'll start mining close to the edge of the patch. So is this... I want to make sure I don't do any mixed mining. Okay, this looks like I've got it in the wrong place. So let's move it back one. And this is why I'm glad to have nanobots, because it would just be such a pain to move things around by hand. I can do some of the work myself, but things like placing inserters is just a bit painful. Good. Right, we can dump this. We can grab this box finally. Brilliant. And this. So, these can't go any higher, but I think... Let's try and keep them roughly in line with one another. Good. So this is the coal line. And we are a couple of those short, some of those short. We're going to need to bring the coal over somehow. Let's do it with another splitter. We're just being really profligate with doing everything with splitters, but don't think anyone's watching. I think it's all fine. Good. And then this can come out. we'll bring in here. And again, we need some... If I bring this coal up, we can split it off. There we go. Do I have any of that shrapnel in my... I do. And we can bring this down. Okay, and that is 12. I'm going to need a splitter to, there we go, to divide off the slag again. It's always worth clearing splitters after you've done those kind of things. I don't particularly want to, well, I guess it's all going to get moved, isn't it? And again, this needs to be on the correct side. Good. Then the slag. We already have a slag processing facility down here, so I would like to reuse the same one. And I think we can do this by putting the slag onto this belt. Is that going to work? It might not work. We may end up with things being backed up if the copper backs up. We'll find out, I guess. If it goes horribly wrong, we'll have to come up with some way to prioritize the slag. But I think this might be automation. I think... Oh, I've done it wrong. I should have put the slag in the output, not the input. Okay, that's going to be a problem. All right, let's try this again in a less stupid way. Okay, so coming down is fine. The problem is that I don't want the slag anywhere near there. Okay, so can we bring the slag through this gap? We can. Brilliant. Okay. So that would work. All right, so now let's clear this belt. Is that it cleared? Yes, that's cleared. Good. I can put these nuggets back there. And I can dump the extra slag there. And the extra coal, let's put it into these labs. So we're not doing any research currently. That's interesting. So we could unlock transport system. I think we will do that. And I'm going to do these two researches straight away because they're relatively cheap and they make a huge difference to the speed of the transport system. I'm also going to unlock a car, and then I haven't really thought about what next, so we'll leave it at that. Okay, well, I think that's a pretty good job done, isn't it? We've managed to get most of our things automated, which were being troublesome. Got a couple of things that still need replacing either with steam versions or some other solution. We'll see how annoying that gets. Okay, and then the last thing is arguably the most important. Good. So we are hopefully no longer relying on luck to keep the factory going. We're going to put down a few more of these, I think. Not that I know we need them yet, but I would feel happier if we had them than if we didn't. Whoa! That was horrific. That's not just a friendly tree explosion, that's a bad thing. Okay. Well, the factory's up. What's the next job? I think the next job is going to be steel, but I think setting up steel is going to be a bit of a thing. So having automated the mining and fueling, I think I'm going to leave it here, call it a day. But I am pretty pleased with this. It feels like something which used to be an endless chore that was slowing me down is now working seamlessly without my input. So good job. Thanks for watching. Next time we will end up doing steel processing, I promise. Until then, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.